from Dust Monkey. Today's Friday. I've just finished my week's work. So it's half day on a Friday, so I get to mess around and do cool stuff. So I'm at work today and I am going to, or I have just polished the belly pans for the BMW. You can't really see that well, but I just nibbed out a few little bits of dirt that were in it and given the belly pans a polish. And I'm now going to continue polishing the carbon bits. So we've got this here, which goes under the tank. I'll show you a better view of that. Yeah, so this is a panel that I made to go underneath the tank. So it's in two halves, one half, two halves kind of thing. And actually when it's on the bike, it actually kind of sits like that, if you can imagine. So I made this, probably a year ago now. It was lacquered, and it's got some rocks and lumps in it. So today I'm gonna polish them out. Oh, there you go, look. So it's been on and off the bike. It looks pretty ropey now, but hopefully we can polish all that back up, and it'll be good. But yeah, this is actually a metal panel that was made, and then I done a carbon fibre overlay on it. So you basically stick your carbon fibre onto the metal and then resin it all up. And there you go. It's so you have real carbon fibre rather than a sticker, and metal panel that was made. But I'll go into more detail on that a little bit later. But yeah, I'm gonna polish this up now. I'm gonna flap the dirt and polish it up, and hopefully she'll come back, because like I say, it's been painted probably 12 months now, so obviously the lacquer's gone pretty hard on it, and there's some reasonably big lumps in it as well. So what I basically do is, when we're lacquering something in the booth, if I've got a panel ready, I literally just fire it in the booth, and whatever we're lacquering, whatever job we're doing, we just fire some lacquer on it, just to save a bit of time really, and use any leftover lacquer in the gun. But yeah, so we'll flat that and see how we go. So, as we've done before with flat and polishing, I am going to nib the biggest lumps out with some 1200. Bit of 1200, wet and dry. 3M stuff, really nice, works really well, cuts well, lasts well. So yeah, I'm going to nib the lumps out, and then we can go over it with some 1500. So yeah, you don't want to watch me do this because it's boring. So I'll put you on the fast bit, on the time lapse for this bit. And there we go, look. So again, 1200, 1500 and 2000. So bearing in mind this actually goes underneath the tank, you generally don't see it, obviously. It's just a finishing panel just to make things a little bit neater. Obviously if it was a tank or a seat unit or a fairing, I would have taken slightly more care and time, but as it's under the tank, we're not going to worry too much about that. I'm quite happy with that. So we'll fire some polish at it now and get the polisher going, get it warmed up, and yeah, make it shiny. There you go, I've turned you around. Hopefully you'll be able to see a bit better now. The light in here is it's really bright, and the camera hates it, basically. Hopefully you can see that a bit better now. So I've put a little bit of brown paper down, basically because when you're polishing, if you get the mop catch on, say, a blanket or a rag or something, and it spins round in it, yeah, that's never fun. That's always an interesting moment when that happens. So that's why the paper's gone down. Hopefully avoid that. So I will splodge a bit of this on it. I'm gonna see how we get on, because I'm gonna have to do it probably one-handed. And this whole mop's quite heavy after a few minutes, so we'll give it a whirl. Right, there we go. Get rid of that. So, in real time, that was probably, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes. Let's, yeah, that's coming up okay. Can you guys see the shine? Yeah. Doesn't look great there. Let's have another little wipe. Like I say, that was probably about 2 minutes, so. There's me, look, open mouth. It doesn't help the shine. Oh, there you go. So, I will continue with this, and we'll have a look when it's done. So I have finished with the harsher compound, and I am now going to whip over it quickly with a fine compound, just to try and get rid of some of the haze on it. So we've got this little cutie out for that. Really nice little polisher. Makes things quite easy when you're getting into awkward places and whatnot. So we'll whip over it with this quickly. So there we go. Let's see if I can see what you're seeing. That looks better. Nice and shiny. Don't get me wrong, it's still got some little tiny bits, more scratches actually in it. I've no idea whether it'll show or not. But yeah, so there's a few little bits in it, but that is plenty good enough to go underneath a tank. So yeah, so that was just a finishing compound, nice and fine, nice and easy with the gentle mop, no problems. Ugh, got to clean the inside again now. But yeah, yeah, so that one's all done. Yeah, good job. And there we go. There you go. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense now. So that goes under the tank. So fuel taps here, one either side. And then here, the wires come out of there, and the throttle cables come through there as well. So yeah, so that screws to some, that bolts to some brackets that are welded onto the frame. And yeah, not sure how this is going to look because it's kind of flickering and doing odd stuff. But yeah, so that's the tank, bit's done. And there is the little under tray. Again, made in carbon. Yeah, same sort of process as these really. The only difference is the carbon was laid over the metal and bonded to the metal to stay there, i.e. to stay on the metal, whereas this was overlaid on the under tray that I made. So the under tray was made, then waxed, and then I basically done the same process as you would do in overlay skinning. Yeah, so I basically skinned the metal under tray, and once it was all dry, just popped it off. So we have a, you know, a super light carbon fibre under tray, which is very dirty on the inside. That needs cleaning. But yeah, again, it's underneath the bike, so I'm not too worried. The weave, you know, got a little bit of a wibble there in the weave. Not too worried about that. The light in here actually makes it look far more patchy, and I don't know, just it looks worse in this light than it actually is. No, that's not going to help either. But there you go. So that's also done. So that is a little bit more progress on the BM, which I've had some exciting news on actually. So yeah, we may share. We'll see. And we have the last carbon fibre bit today. So this little panel here, again, this was done probably, yeah, easily a year or so ago. Again, this is carbon fibre, skinned over aluminium, this was. And then I just paint the back of it just to neaten it up a bit. But yeah, so this panel is basically to cover this slot. When you build the bike up, excuse me, the belly pan goes on first, and then the exhaust goes on. Well, the exhaust runs down the side, and then it goes in behind the belly pan. So this little cover, basically, once your exhaust is on, you stick this cover on over the top, and yeah, and then you've got your exhaust going through there with this nice little cover. And also it gives it some, it just breaks up the, there's not loads and loads of shape in this belly pan, although more shape than there looks, but yeah. So, and actually when it's bolted to the bike, it's actually raised this end, so it's kind of lifted off the panel. It doesn't sit flush against it. It kind of lifts up a little bit, just to give it a bit of depth, really. But yeah, so that is the last bit of carbon that I've re-polished up. This one is twill carbon, so it's got like the herringbone, they call it, effect. I actually quite like this better, more. That's plain weave. But when I actually made these, this is all I had to hand, and like I say, you have to do what you can do with what you got. But I actually prefer the plain weave, to be honest, but again, you can't see any of that because it's under the bike. But yeah, so that's it, the last little bit of carbon is done for the little carbon spruce up, you know. Yeah, so everything looks good again. So hopefully when I bolt it all back on, hopefully that'll be the last time, fingers crossed. But yeah, we all say that. Although saying that, I have still got to make a little bracket to go behind it, just to strengthen between these two parts. But yes, we are definitely getting there, so I'm pleased with that. Yeah. Well, cheers guys for tuning in again, and just leave some comments for me how I can improve, or what you would like to see, or you know, if you'd like a bit more in depth about the carbon skinning. There's loads of it on YouTube, but I'm more than happy to go through it. I'm actually going to do a front mudguard for it. The one that I've got is not right, so I'm actually going to build a new mudguard for it. So yeah, that'll be something else to watch. But yeah, cheers guys. There's a little thumb, and we'll see you soon.